You're listening to The Hang with Mike Manson Waters and Matt Spice Floyd.
That have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
We got this. We got this, man.
You understand that?
At least we get this.
I mean, that's a good time.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that?
I had the welcome to The Hang with Mike and Matt.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Matt. I had the intro music was behind another screen. I couldn't see it.
Might as well play the Trump remix.
So it's the Hang intro that you made, and so I keep ready to hit it because it's got 8 false endings. And I couldn't. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have to let it run out.
I'll make a new one.
No, it's a gimmick.
We can shorten it up if you'd like.
No, I want all the time. The longer, the better.
Oh, man. What a week, yes?
What a week.
What a week.
What a week, Diddy. Diddy.
Breaking news.
We got breaking news?
Unless you're listening to this later, then it's not going to be
breaking
breaking news
at
at all. But for the time being, it's somewhat breaking news. He was denied bail.
Oh, I was thinking they were going to let him out on bail.
Yeah.
Because the whole trial seems like a charade.
Dude.
I mean, if this is all he's getting hemmed up on, what was the big fucking deal?
You know, it reminds me of any of those mafia cases. Like the feds used to spend years and resources and all this stuff to bring down the mob, and they hit him with RICO, racketeering, all that stuff, right? And then at the end of the day, people would fold on somebody else, and then somebody else would fold, and these guys would do 3 months, 9 months, a year. The top dog would get a few years, or he might, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at the time value proposition as a taxpayer, and you go, okay, are they doing, like, what's right here, right? Like, what is the best and correct course of action? And was it worth, and I bring up an example. I was listening to Rogan the other day. He had the guy who was a part of the mob, Donnie Brasco, okay? The actual Donnie Brasco from the movie. And he was talking about all these cases and how it's been years, and he had to learn to be a jewel thief, and then they had to teach him to be a car thief, and then they had to teach him all this stuff, and then...
Your tax dollars at work.
Right. That's the whole time I'm thinking, as I'm listening to this, I'm going, it's fascinating, but cha-ching, 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 and then they gave me a new identity, and then I had an apartment, and then I go to the bar every night and have some drinks, and then we get food until I'd infiltrate myself. So, and I get the job is dangerous, but I'm just thinking to myself, okay, that's just one guy out of all the informants and all the feds and all the shit show that goes on. And the funny part is the Donnie Brasco guy is going, yeah, and a couple guys, they rolled on the other guys, and they got 2-3 months, and I'm thinking to myself, what was this all for? Was it all worth it? This operation? And then sometimes they just shut down the operations, and there's no reason why. Just somebody from the top goes, okay, shut it down. Or the other ones they leave open for years, and they've got these undercover operatives and all this stuff. And it's just like, I'm looking at the Diddy thing, and the dude's a cuck and a terrible person. But that shows, one, public prosecution compared to a nice legal defense team that's paid is a totally different world. If Diddy would have been a civilian without a high-paid defense team, he would have been found guilty on every fucking thing. It's just the way it would have been. They wouldn't have had the resources to mount a solid defense compared to the prosecution, right? But they did have the resources, so they did, and now it tips the scales. That's at least the way I'm seeing it.
But, I mean, the resources his defense was half an hour.
What?
That's what I heard last night. There's like when the defense made their case, after half an hour they rested.
Oh. Well, then the prosecution really sucked. And
exactly.
They made the defense's argument for him, which is even worse.
I mean, wasn't there supposed to be all this damning video evidence of like celebrities and politicians, and it was going to rock the world? And now it's just like, yeah, he paid a couple prostitutes across state lines, and he's going to get a slap on the wrist.
And they weren't even female prostitutes. He was paying the male prostitutes to fly across state lines.
That's hardcore right there.
That is when you're really into it, like really, really into it.
Now, doesn't he have video? He's got video, I guess. The guy.
Yeah.
He's got the video. So you could just say, I make adult movies. I don't know. I've never been. I used to argue with Kevin Hazlett about that. It's like, how can people fuck on camera? Strangers fuck on camera for money.
Yeah.
But I can't go down the street and pay a girl for sex.
No, you bring up a good point in terms of if Diddy would have set up the freak offs and said, okay, everybody sign a 2257 and I'm going to get an amateur porno license or whatever it is, right? Like, it would all be fair game. And if you're the Punisher or any one of these other, guys that ran trains on these broads, you would happily sign a 20. Diddy's flying you in.
Yeah.
You're making more money
That's
than
a gig right there.
Any male porn star out there, I'm sure, right? He's probably paying you a handsome number, and he's putting you up in hotels, all the stuff, right? Like, I agree with you. Why not just become just at least say you're an adult director?
Just say, yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to put out the film. There's plenty of films in the can, if you know what I'm saying.
All you got to do is get one of those chalkboards.
And action.
Action. Nobody's even in the room. They don't even know. And you got the title of it. Diddy needs to know how to work.
Yeah, but I'd be like, look, there's going to be one take of this. If you're asking for a second take on a pop, it's not going to happen. So there's going to be one take and one take only. So.
No, there can be more than one take because it lasts for 2 days.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a 2-day porno movie.
Poor Punisher's in the other room just chubbing it up nonstop for 2 days.
They filmed Punisher 1 through 6 in the first day.
That guy's something special.
The Punisher.
Oh, man.
Is he over now? Is he going to make a career being the Punisher now?
He should. I mean, in the porn world, that's about it. You might as well start an OnlyFans at least or something.
Yeah, I was thinking if you're a dude and you're already a male prostitute, you just go on the camera and jack off, and you're semi-famous. The guys are paying you $20. You get 100 guys every night paying you $20.
Did you ever see Boogie Nights?
Not yet.
Oh my God!
We don't watch a lot of movies.
I know you don't.
We're way behind.
You got to really watch
years
Boogie
behind.
Nights, please. Again, my movie recommendations to you, take it for what they're worth. I've only given you like 3, but Boogie Nights is one of those. But one of the scenes in Boogie Nights,
critically acclaimed.
I don't know if that's ever good or bad. It sounds like a good thing, but it also sounds like a bad term. Yeah. Like, oh, really? It's like, oh, it's 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, so is that good or bad?
Or is it even real?
Sounds
movies just
bad.
paying Rotten Tomatoes. It's all a big. Everything's such a. The longer I go in life, everything's a scam. I don't believe anything. So,
well, in Boogie Nights, the character Dirk Diggler, he ends up like, down and out. He's like beating himself off in a car next to another dude while the dude like pays him a 5 spot for it or something like that. And I'm thinking, how times have changed. Like if you were Dirk Diggler modern day and you had an OnlyFans, you'd be like,
you'd be rich.
You'd be balling. You'd be in a mansion somewhere, and they'd be like, "Where'd you get all this money?" He's like,
"Damn,
waxed my carrot for my OnlyFans account." And totally different scenario. Before, I don't even know why.
I mean, there'd be
hookers are hooking anymore on the corner. Like if like why? Just
I don't get it. just do the OnlyFans. Seems so much easier. So much easier. I mean, so you got to stick something up your butt occasionally.
I mean,
It's better than digging ditches.
It's
better
like
than answering phones.
it's like a daily enema. Get your daily enema and call it a day.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Speaking of enemas, I got my colonoscopy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. It occurred last week.
How was the prep?
Okay, so the prep, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So they gave me 2 bottles of this thing called...
Big ass bottles.
well, not too bad. Honestly, not as bad as I thought it was.
Mine were
be,
pretty
right?
big.
These were like, they were maybe 12 ounces
Yeah.
each, called like Clin Peak or something like that. Clin Peak? I don't know. So I drank the first one. I was like, all right, it's not so bad. So it hit me. And then you wait a little while, and then you do the second one. Now, by the end of the second one, then I'm feeling the burn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going, what is this, like stomach acid? Like, what is happening now? Like, it's a weird feeling. But then I went in the next day. Of course, you don't eat or drink anything and all that. Go in, check into the hospital, get the whole thing done. They go, all right. And I go, just out of curiosity, what are we using to put me under? Is it, and I go, is it, no, she goes, oh, it's going to be propofol. And I was like, yeah. And I go, that's the Jackson stuff, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, yes, it is. The Jackson juice. I said, all right. She goes, you'll get it. And it'll take you about 45 seconds, and then you'll be out, and you'll wake up in the recovery room. I'm like, 45 seconds. So
It's a long time. Usually you get it and you're like, 1, 2.
See, to me, 45 seconds seemed extremely short. So they roll me in there. Everybody was very nice, whatever. So they all right, roll over on your side. We got to put a little thing underneath you, and they
It's very glamorous.
Yeah,
it's very
yeah.
glamorous.
This is so embarrassing. You're gonna feel a little tingle, and then you'll be out. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna fight this.
That's what everybody does.
I'm gonna fight this.
I always do it.
Yeah, really? So it's not just my thought of like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see how long I can hang in there.
Yeah.
I hung in there. Well, I don't even remember. It was less than 45 seconds. I was staring at the doctor. I'm looking at him, and I'm going, I'm going to hone in on this dude, and I'm not letting this go.
There's nothing you can do.
Nothing
There's
you
nothing
can do.
you can do. And usually it's usually like some kind of surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, a couple times in my life, and whatever, like Valium maybe intravenously. I got that. Yeah, and they'll like, okay, count backwards from 100, and I'm like, I'm gonna fight it. And I don't think I make it more than 3 seconds. And it just
It's the
hits your
craziest
brain,
thing.
and it's so weird that something can do something in your brain that makes you not feel any pain at all. And it's like somebody comes up with a knife when you're sleeping and pokes you, you're gonna go, oh, what the hell? You don't feel nothing. Well,
You're so right. I woke up.
I don't even understand it.
I woke up in the recovery room, and I was at least thinking maybe like my butt would be sore or something like that, right? I mean, they put a camera up there, for God's sake. Who knows what just happened? I've been under the propofol, and I felt nothing, and I was fascinated. I'm like, that is a crazy, crazy thing. And I also realized that I didn't have one dream, at least not to my recollection, under the propofol at all.
Yeah.
But it was fucking amazing. And I was like, it sounded like I told I go, I don't think I'm afraid of death anymore. I was like, it's just, if you're just out and that's it, like, it was pretty sweet. Yeah. I was like, I can totally understand why Michael Jackson loved the propofol. Like, it was incredible, Mike. I kid you not. It was amazing.
It might be so good that if you could afford it, you would have a doctor administer it to you every night.
Yes.
Because it's supposed to make you feel great afterwards.
I felt pretty good. I opened up my eyes, and I'm staring at a nurse, and she's just kind of there typing and stuff. She looks at me. I look at her. I go, all right, I'm good. I'm up. Here we go. Like, that was it. And then, of course, they made me settle in for about 45 minutes and stuff like that. But yeah. I felt great. And
you didn't feel like you had a 3-foot rod shoved up your ass?
with a camera attached? No. Like, it was strangely amazing.
I had a colonoscopy, and I didn't feel... It's like you don't even feel like you've had a colonoscopy.
Yes.
And it's really weird because you're like, how can somebody shove something up into my colon and I would not at least go, a little bit.
Right? You think you'd feel something? Discomfort?
Something?
Well, then the doctor comes in and he goes, all right, we got you taken care of. How many polyps do you think they found on me? What do you think?
2.
19 polyps.
19 polyps. 19 polyps. What the hell is that? Sounds like a scam to me. 19 polyps.
How could that be a scam?
How do you know how do you know how many polyps they found? I have no idea.
Are you saying he falsified the polyp count?
That's a racket.
Actually, I'm kidding. He found 3 polyps.
3 polyps.
But I did leave my mom hang. I left her twisted in the wind for a minute with the 19 polyps. But 3 polyps.
I don't even know what a polyp is. Polyp can be harmless, but I don't know. But it can also not be harmless.
Yeah.
So they take them out anyway.
They take them out
sounds
anyways.
like a likely story.
I mean, I'm glad they take them out. Like, if you find it, you just leave them in there.
It's just a polyp.
Let them marinate for a while.
Just a polyp.
But it's funny, the propofol versus the fentanyl, because I was looking up, what do they put you under with? I'm literally in the waiting room and I'm going, what are they going to use today? And they said in most cases propofol, but they also said fentanyl can be used in certain cases. I know, and I'm going, ooh, I don't know about the fentanyl stuff. Like that's why I asked the lady, like, hey, what are we using? And when she said propofol, even though I know Michael Jackson died from some sort of propofol overdose, I felt more comfortable by her saying propofol than her being like, just a little fentanyl. I was like, there was something comforting about it.
You've never heard of a propofol overdose like you have a fentanyl overdose. Other than Michael Jackson, he's the only one you've ever heard of because he was famous. But I don't think people are overdosing from propofol. I think it doesn't happen, whereas fentanyl, every freaking day. So, yeah, I'd be more comfortable with propofol as well.
What happened with the doctor with Michael Jackson? Did he just, not pay attention, or...
I think he got a call from a hot date. And he was outside smoking, and he was talking sex with this girl, and Michael Jackson is going, See, that's how it happened.
My significant other seems to think that the doctor was totally raping Michael Jackson while he was under the propofol.
Why?
I don't remember her exact thought process, but she's like, look, this doctor could have done whatever. Every night, this doctor had his way with Michael Jackson. I'm going, okay, that's a messed up theory, but I don't remember anything while I was under.
Oh, they could have done anything to you.
If you've got Michael Jackson.
That wasn't a medical rod up your ass.
Right. And this doctor's the only one there, and he's paid by you, but yet you're under, and this dude can just fiddle around with you. I mean, he could do anything he wants. Your body's just you know what I mean? Like, you're a temporary corpse.
Yeah, but most people have no desire to do that.
Unless you're a doctor who's privately hired weirdo who ended up.
He's got to be a weirdo though, because I'm not gonna. Well, I'm
Wouldn't he have to be a weirdo to be Michael Jackson's personal doctor that administers propofol nightly, anyways?
It's a fucking great gig. He's making big bucks.
I mean,
I don't
know, but it sounded off to me, but then I'm thinking about it and going, well, I mean, I could see that happening. People are strange. You got this guy, he's alone nightly with Michael. Even if you're not like butt raping the guy or anything like that, even if you're just having a little fun, pulling off his wig or seeing what's going on with Michael Jackson's lips or his nose, like all this stuff, just getting it's like an alien autopsy nightly.
It's a victimless crime.
Right. This doctor, he's under propofol. He's doing an alien autopsy on Michael Jackson nightly. He's like, what is up with this part of his body? And who's to say that that's not what was going on?
Who's to say that Michael Jackson didn't have something done down there too?
Filming his little narrow ass and his little, because wasn't his penis
supposed to be?
Was it darker or
I thought it
lighter?
was like the vitiligo on it or something. It had a markings on it.
Yeah, I don't remember if he. I just remember the interview. He was like, my penis. But I don't remember if he said it was lighter or darker.
Do it. lighter or darker. I don't remember. He probably had it lightened. He probably stuck it in bleach every night.
Did that doctor is he spending life in prison?
They said Conrad something. Wasn't it something weird like that?
It sounded like it was a snooty name.
What was that snooty doctor's name?
Yeah, Dr. Conrad sounds right for some reason. Conrad Murray.
Conrad Murray?
There you
go, Conrad Murray.
God, it's sad that I don't know my child's birthday off the top of my head, but I can pull out Conrad Murray.
That is sad. Now, do you think he's in just is he still in jail? He's 72. He's 72. He was convicted, and how much did he get? I'm not saying how much he got.
It'd be cool if he's out.
Involuntary manslaughter, career, personal life, death of Michael Jackson. Where's the fucking how long he stayed in jail, you mother effers? This is terrible. Released on October 28, 2013. 12 years ago.
Where the hell have we been?
Got a slap on the wrist, too.
Big time.
I don't even remember that. When did Michael Jackson die?
I mean, okay, I'm thinking it had to be, I'm going 2005.
I have no...
Maybe...
I couldn't even tell you.
Maybe earlier than that. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but time flies.
They give me his age at 72 years. Born, and when he's born, not when he died. Like...
You want me to get this? All right.
I got it. No, I don't. They're not... What is going on? Oh, I got the wrong guy. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. When did Michael...
Sean Raz.
Damn it.
Gifted a tier 1 sub. That's 165.
Thank you, Sean Raz.
That's a lot, Sean Raz.
Okay, 2009.
So he served then he went on trial. That trial probably went on for a year. He served 3 years or something.
Man, that's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
How old do you think Michael Jackson was when he passed?
Wasn't he 50 something? 53 or
50?
50.
He's 50.
Because he was getting ready to go on a big world tour. And I don't think he'd go much past your mid-50s. I don't think he'd go on trying to dance like Michael Jackson.
He's good. Modern day, he would look like Madonna out there.
Yeah, at some point you got to change your act.
Yeah,
certain people.
Because Michael Jackson's thing was the dancing, right?
The
so
dancing.
If he was like, "Hey,
I'm not gonna dance.
I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna tour the world, but it's just gonna be me and an acoustic guitar." I don't think.
I don't know. You see,
it would be great, but it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just the dancing. His voice was pretty amazing too.
Michael Unplugged.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Michael Unplugged would be huge.
I
would pay right now to see Michael Unplugged. That doesn't sound good. But
no, it's just when I take a butt plug out of me.
Does he do it like an unplugged moonwalk? It's half-assed. Real slow. Michael Jackson Unplugged.
I remember when I was a kid, they had Burger King back in the day, had the world tour came around for Michael Jackson, whatever it was at the time. I was 6 years old or something. And this world tour, they had posters and tchotchkes at the Burger King, and you'd go through and they had Michael Jackson branded cups and stuff. It was in that era when all that stuff was going on, and then I just remember him getting burnt in a Pepsi commercial or something. I was like, that is the strangest goddamn thing to happen. He had to get paid off of that, right?
I would think a lot.
I mean,
but
Pepsi?
Even if you got, he was already multi-millionaire. I heard that's what ruined his life. He got addicted to painkillers because it had the nasty scalp wound that wouldn't heal, and he got addicted to painkillers, and then he went.
So,
and that could be true.
So Pepsi Company is the one responsible for this madness.
It is.
Man, yeah, that's a weird one. That's a tough one because, didn't he use that as the excuse of, or no, he said he didn't bleach his skin, right?
He said he didn't.
Yeah.
But
I saw Sam
He
a picture.
also said he didn't touch boys. I don't know.
I saw a picture of Sammy Sosa the other week, and he's gotten darker. At least what everybody says. And like, what happened? Like the last time you saw a picture of him, he was super white looking. Like you know,
there's
all of a sudden he was waspy, and then all of a sudden now it's like he's dark again. And I don't know how that goes, but I don't know if you just stop using the whitening cream, if you just go back to your regular shade.
How much you can whiten your skin? I don't know how much you can.
A lot.
You sure?
Yeah. It's a whole industry, dude. It's a big business, and there's a lot of people that do it. Silly white guys like us are busy throwing tanning lotion on ourselves.
We're trying to get darker. We should be trying to get lighter.
Could you imagine if we got lighter? My pasty white thighs even lighter than this.
Oh, I'm getting a good pace. I'm working on it. It's so much. I find. See, nobody's looking at me at my age. Nobody's looking at me, but I find when I look in the mirror and I'm tan, I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always better.
And then I look in when I'm not tan in the winter, I'm like, it brings me down. So I prefer to take, you roll the dice on the skin cancer.
I haven't even, well, okay, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I was like, isn't it crazy the fact that the sun is the most powerful thing in the universe, and you can just put on a lotion that blocks 100% of it, and all of a sudden it doesn't affect you, like that whole thing?
I think it's the
well, since then, I've been getting hit with statements on my algorithm and these things, and they're going, it's better for you to just get sun, kind of what you were saying, like risking some skin cancer kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's better for you to just do that as opposed to the opposite of putting on these toxic chemicals and lathering your skin
every 30 minutes.
Yeah. Don't forget to reapply. Oh, you went in the pool? Oh, you got out of the pool? Reapply.
Yeah.
Like there's these studies that have come out. I don't know how true any of it is, but for me, it does seem rather likely. The fact that you can put on a lotion, it blocks the most powerful goddamn thing in our solar system.
Just like that, buddy.
Just like that. Little lotion.
See, like they used to put the zinc oxide like on their noses. And that made sense because you're covering it. It's white. You can't get through. But just this stuff that absorbs into your skin.
And what's
up with that?
And I don't know. I've never really looked at the lotion's ingredients, so I don't know. But God knows what's in there and what lab they formulated that stuff in. Like I'm almost afraid to know what chemicals are in there, right? Like think of the chemical combination it has to be to make that work. How
many? It was at least 2 different, I think, brands of sunscreen that came out in the last 3 or 4 years that said they recalled a bunch because they go, oh, that's got some cancer-causing stuff in there.
Oops.
I think that they mean they put too much cancer-causing stuff in there.
Now, forgive me, but I don't know the answer. Would the FDA have to approve those lotions, or would they not? Like,
yeah, I would think so.
Boy, that's a problem, right? If the FDA is like, yeah, no problem. It blocks out the most powerful thing in the solar system. Nothing wrong there. Pass it through. Like, doesn't that seem like the weirdest thing ever? Even more odd than any food combinations that they've approved.
But yeah, I mean, they approved
because you're covering your whole body in this shit.
It must be really, yeah. Maybe it's they're like, oh, that's a good one. It's gonna take people years to figure out that's what gave them cancer.
the ultimate long con.
We approve it right now. They gave him a round of applause. Long con. Let's hear it for the long con. That's a good one.
And then in 2042, when they get diagnosed with skin cancer, they can just go, well, you didn't apply enough.
Yeah.
There's no proof that you can tie it back to maybe the lotions, but this lotion had 150 different toxic chemicals in it. Well, yeah, but that's not what caused this. There could have been a variety of other factors involved.
Big sunscreen's got powerful lawyers.
That koala from Australian Gold, that motherfucker.
He's a murderer. Koala's a murderer.
They did make all the tanning lotions super. Remember the Hawaiian Tropic calendars and It was just like
it was all everywhere. It was always the Hawaiian Tropic bikini contest.
Yes.
Hawaiian Tropic this and that.
And you'd open up that calendar, and it would just be the tannest blonde girls on the planet with just these extreme tan lines.
Like Tan Mom. Is that the one? Is that her name, Tan Mom or
Tan
something?
Mom.
Oh, just grotesquely tan. Just grotesque. I mean, just so vile.
I wonder what those Hawaiian Tropic models look like 25 years later. If they're just a bunch of tan moms, like,
It's just all crinkly.
Either they're riddled with skin cancer or they're just so tan and shriveled up. You know, I don't know.
My $2 subscribe for 71 months. That's an eternity. 71 months.
Have you even been doing this for 71 months? That's amazing.
72, I think.
Wow.
72. I feel as if I must.
Uh-oh.
Put my head on here and make sure I close the door.
Close the door to what?
Well, there's a lot of doors that need to be closed in this house, man.
All right, Mike is walking out to check the doors to make sure they've all been closed correctly. Anybody that's chatting, I'd love to be able to read chat tonight. Now, whether Mike does it or not, I don't know. Just so you know, I can't see the screen to be able to look at the chat. I could if I had my glasses on, but right now it's not very great. So
sorry about that.
That's why I don't really, or I can't follow the chat. Sorry, I was just saying.
No, it's impossible to follow the chat in a two-person show.
Yeah, I just want to get that out there. I feel like I need to reiterate that point a lot. Like I can't read it. So that's just where it goes.
I mean, it's, occasionally I'm going to try. I give it a side glance to try and miss like three. I figure I can miss 3 or 4 words and still get back on. But I get lost so easy when I go to the chat. I'm just like, what is he talking?
Tell us about your colonoscopies, chat.
We need to do anecdotal radio.
I got to go back. I got to go back in 3 years. They said. I guess that's the standard.
Sam Simon had a colonoscopy 6 months before he died of colon cancer.
How'd they not find that?
Exactly.
Or did they? And they were like, well, there's nothing we can do about this one.
Don't tell him.
There is a certain beauty in not being told. There's just something.
Yeah, just don't tell me.
Like, do you want to live every day like you're dying, or do you want to live every day like you don't know you're dying?
Exactly.
What's better?
You can make the most of it. Maybe they don't tell you just piss your final days away. If I'm going to dig that ditch out back.
Hey, man. If you want to watch Sanford and Son reruns in your final days, go for it, my man. I'm not going to tell you not to. Like there is something to be said for not knowing. Like,
knowing kind of sucks.
Knowing that you only have been given X
3
amount of
months
time
to live, sir.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, shit. That's going to go fast.
I mean, this week flew by. I feel like I saw you yesterday. It's already been a week, and I'm sitting here going, okay, if you had 3 months to live, you mean I only got 11 of these shows, and it's it?
So fast.
It's so...
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
I know it's corny, but if you look up every old saying just live your life by old sayings, because they're 100% true. They're all 100% true.
They are, but the thing that's disturbing is when you look at old people or like on their deathbed and they're like, what's your one regret? And they always do like, or what's your top regrets? And it's like, oh, I wish I had spent more time with family.
It's usually, yeah.
I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I had done more things. And I'm sitting here going, well, yeah, that's pretty sweet revisionist history unless you're in the moment and you got goddamn bills to pay and you have to work to sustain your life just to fucking live, okay? I mean, I could have blown my brains out years ago, but instead I decided to, I'm just saying, like, it's easy to go back on your deathbed and go, oh, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And so you're in the moment and you're going, well, fucking, who else is it? Got to pay the mortgage. Got to put food on the table. Like,
I mean, to be devil's advocate.
Sure, please do, because you are that guy. I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as a compliment.
That's why I have
on your deathbed,
I have no friends.
No, on your deathbed, you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't be like, oh, I wish I'd spent more time with my family. You'd have that fulfilled.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that maybe, you're a real go-getter and you did this and, you got a big house and you worked hard and you got a boat and you got, and then, on your deathbed, you're like, man, I should have just spent a lot more time hanging out with the family instead of busting my ass for material possessions.
Right.
Which is how I feel.
Unless the kids are like, Daddy, we should get a boat. How come we don't have a boat? All the neighbors have boats. Why don't we have a boat? Daddy, when are we going on vacation?
My kid, my kid's getting a foot up the ass talking to me like that. Talk to me like that.
Daddy, when are we going to go to Anna Maria Island on our yearly vacation? Well, kids, we can't quite do it this year. What do you mean, Dad? You need to work harder. I'm just saying.
No,
there are. That's the vicious cycle.
Somebody raised shitty kids.
Oh.
I can't even fathom my kids ever coming up and asking me to work harder for anything.
Well, they don't say it like that. They roundabout say it to where you're like, oh. So I guess I need I've seen it. Look, when I was a kid, I wanted tennis lessons. I couldn't afford tennis lessons. There was no money for it, right? But it's like, well, why not? It wasn't a thing of like, why aren't you working enough? It was like, why not? Like, why can't this happen? You don't understand the reasons.
Yeah, you just want the lessons,
right? And that one thing that old people
should have gone out and got yourself a job, Matthew.
I was like 12. I started working when I was 14. But when you go back to even old people, the whole one income thing, it was like the guy just used to be the breadwinner. It was just a dude, and the wife would be Susie Homemaker, a couple kids, and this dude would work all day. He'd come home, smoke a pipe, and read a newspaper and watch black and white TV and go to bed and just
good old days.
Wait for the next day to come and take him away,
Boo.
But I mean that's are those the old people on the deathbed going, I wish I hadn't worked as hard? But if they weren't going to work, who was gonna? Nobody else was fucking picking up jobs. The wife was Susie Homemaker. She wasn't going to get a job. It wasn't even a thing. I'm ranting.
I don't you're really dead set on this.
I don't know what I'm even dead set on. I'm just.
You shouldn't have taken that third hit, man. Shouldn't have taken it.
Well, crack's a hell of a drug.
We're going to do a crack show pretty soon.
We were thinking about doing a crack. If I did crack, I would do a crack show with you. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I would love it.
No, yeah. I feel I could do crack and then never do it again.
Says every crackhead ever.
But I'm not going to. It's not worth risking it. It's I'm not dying to do crack.
So you're saying you don't have the willpower to only do it once?
I just figure, best to err on the side of caution.
So look, I'm pretty confident I can only do it once. But then you're going, but I'm not going to try.
Plus, I'm never going to be able to have access to crack. I would never know where to buy crack.
That's the other thing is I would be very suspicious if I had a friend who knew where to buy crack. I'd be like, I need to question my friend circle. Like weed, if somebody's like, hey, can you get me some weed? And they're like, yeah, man, I can get you a little weed. You'd be like, okay, great. If I was like, hey, can you get me some crack? And they're like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, shit.
What's up with that?
I didn't know I knew you like this. Like, you should not know how to get me crack, nor should you be in my home at this moment.
Exactly.
No,
I would be like the Dennis and Dee trying to buy crack.
Yes.
And I just ended up with no money. They took my money and didn't give me the crack. Now I'm going to drive away.
Dude, speaking of finding things, I have a very close family friend who is looking to get pregnant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way that appears she's going to be able to do this is through a sperm donor.
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole to-do with sperm donors. I don't know if you ever encountered anybody. Have you ever known anybody that's had to
they go into a fertility clinic, or they're just looking for somebody to
they have to go buy vials of sperm.
Mm-hmm.
And What do you think a vial of sperm?
They buy it and do it themselves?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's a new thing.
So it's not like in vitro where they're mixing the egg with the sperm.
Guaranteeing pregnancy.
Right. They're not like implanting.
This is potluck, squirting it up there.
Right.
Okay.
Turkey baster style. Like for real. It's like a turkey baster. And you have to buy 3 vials is the recommendation. 3 vials of sperm. So we found ourselves looking for sperm donors along with her. I was fascinated. I'm just like, this is a whole underworld of sperm donor activity. Like, it's all fun and games when you're a young man. You're going, oh, donate sperm. And, like you don't really care and all this kind of stuff. But when you become grown and you go, whoa, this is a serious thing. Like, how much do you think sperm costs on average? A vial of sperm.
Probably pretty pricey. I couldn't tell you. $100 a vial.
100. Okay. The donors we were looking at, which is just your basic sort of sperm donor clinic. Nothing, whatever.
Nothing fancy.
I don't know what fancy in that world means. I don't know.
Giant penis sculptors in the lobby. Vagina sculptors.
Geysers flowing. I don't know.
Fountain. A jizz fountain.
Welcome to Jizz Inc.
Big jizz.
Big jizz.
Big jizz.
And I don't know also what the sperm donors get out of it, right? Like maybe they get $100.
Yeah, they're getting paid.
They're getting paid, but there's a profit margin in there somewhere is my point.
Oh, absolutely.
So a vial of sperm from the donors that we were looking at was between $1,800 and $2,500 per vial. And again, the recommendation is
couple grand a vial.
Yeah,
couple grand a vial. Six G's.
Right, and you get
for a life of misery.
Right, like, but it was crazy, and you can click on these people's profiles, and they tell you all about their like history. Like it's a full book report on this person, but you don't see a picture of them as an adult. Obviously, you do see a baby picture of them. So there's all baby pictures posted. So you go, okay, well, maybe my kid would look similar to that. You don't really know. And they have voice recordings of these sperm donors. So you can hear them talking, and they give you a little message of like, hey, my name's such and such. I really am into family. I've donated. Like everybody's got their own sort of story. It's like 2.5-minute audio clips. I was fascinated at this world, and I'm going, and then we're going, why don't you just go to Ybor? Just go get knocked up, like, go have a one-night stand or something like that. Like, I don't know what the difference in.
Is she in a relationship?
It's complicated. We'll leave it at that. But would you frown on somebody if they were like, hey, I'm going to go. Would you be like, oh, you're going to spend $6,000 on 3 vials of sperm that may or may not work? And you have an idea of the genetic history of these gents, but you don't really know. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. I don't know. It seemed like a fascinating world.
$6,000, $2,000 a vial. I don't know. For one thing, I'm not. There's been a few horror stories with the fertility clinics and sperm donors and stuff like that, where they're jumbling the sperm and bad things happen. It's like, I don't trust.
What do you mean jumbling the sperm?
I don't know. Like
that's a sentence I've never heard.
Or that they weren't. You picked your sperm and they had the thing, and all the sperm was actually the freaking doctor.
Oh, that documentary. Yes.
Yeah. It's like I don't trust. I'm not. Because getting impregnated, see, like if you're getting pregnant by your husband and, you're 28, 30, you're like, well, he doesn't have any diseases.
Right.
He's not carrying anything, that I know his grandparents. I know, that family's not riddled with bad genes. You fuck.
Now
some willy-nilly sperm.
There was that on there. Again, I don't know how in-depth they go to test these guys and see what their genetic family history is, but they do have certain things listed, and I can't remember the name of the one, but it was essentially, I don't know, sort of like a poor man's herpes, where like 90% of people have it, and it was like, okay, stay away from that, like filter those out. But they do have some sort of, roadmap to their genetics, but not enough to feel comfortable.
Not enough for my taste. Why don't you just find somebody that is a good person,
because
healthy?
You'd have to have them willing to do it, number one.
Yeah.
And you'd also be able to, you'd have to find somebody who's going to go, look, I don't want a connection, like, and actually mean it, and not come back 16 years later and be like, hey, I want to.
Well, you'd have to do paperwork. You would, because legally.
But even paperwork, they would still know. Like, there's always
you'd have to
possibility, I guess. The only way for there not to be a possibility is for it to be a 100% stranger, like, with a buffer in between.
That's a crapshoot.
Yeah,
you don't know what this stranger's parents are like, or what if he's riddled with cancer.
Yeah, like, what if your daughter was like, "Hey, Dad, I want to have a child, can't by traditional means. Thinking about doing this sperm donor thing. What do you think? Would you be in favor of it?" Or would you caution her against it?
I would caution her with just the stuff that I've said.
Yeah.
I just think it's
the genetic roadmap thing.
A little bit of a crapshoot.
But isn't a one-night stand a little bit of a crapshoot as well?
Everything's a crapshoot.
It's all a crapshoot.
I mean, I used to think adoption. I was like, man, I couldn't adopt. I need my own baby, flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trace's granddaughter, from his new wife, she started coming around here when she was 2, and it's like, I love that girl to death, and I couldn't love that girl more. But I think
it's yours.
Yeah, but you got to get them young.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if
younger,
they were,
the easier it is. Little kids are so easy to fall in love with.
Yeah, which is that's why, like, these children's homes and everything, you see these kids stuck in the system at like 13, 14 years old, and they're not getting out of the system. Nobody's coming in there to rescue them or take them home and, love them and care for them. And then 18, they get booted. Just get booted.
On the street.
See ya. And there's certain programs that'll help them out after that, but those programs are few and far between.
Yeah.
We're busy making gay Sesame Streets in Iraq or whatever the fucking...
Building alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, all that
We're
stuff.
Just pissing money away.
But meanwhile, these kids didn't do anything wrong. They've been stuck in a system, and they can't find a way out. Nobody's coming to rescue them.
Toss them out the door at 18.
See ya. It's very strange. And then you got people paying $1,800 a vial for sperm. Minimum of 3.
We got excess kids over here. A lot of excess kids.
Well, it's like the animal shelter. I mean, I hate to make that comparison.
No,
but
it's exactly like the animal shelter.
You can go to the animal shelter and find an old Labrador who's been there for a while, might be a tried and true dog. You just don't know. Or you go to the puppy store and you go, oh, look at how cute the little puppy dog is. Sure, it costs several $1,000s, but look at it. Let's take it home today. It's
cute and
fluffy.
You can always take the old one back. He's a real a-hole. Just surrender him.
Leave him at the doorstep.
Try another one. We were talking about the Diddy thing. Why didn't they just put him on trial for assault? They got a video of him assaulting his girlfriend that any jury would say, obviously, he's guilty. Why isn't that in the mix?
So I think, I could be wrong on this. I think it's because, one, she reached a settlement with him on it. Okay? And 2, I think it was past the statute of limitations.
Oh, she got the.
But she got a payday. So that was already like agreed upon. Like as soon as that video was like heard about, he reached a settlement within like 48 hours. She got paid. It didn't stop it from being shown, but she couldn't do anything about it as far as charges.
And what is the purpose of showing that in a trial? It's like, how is that relevant to a racketeering case? It's like, and usually you're saying, if you try to bring up something, well, you know, he also raped this girl. No, you can't talk about that.
Right.
So why are they able to show just a meaningless video that he can't be charged with of kicking his girlfriend's ass?
I don't know. And well, one, embarrassment. Two, he's a dickbag. So I get all the feelings on it. Like, yeah, I'm glad they got to see it.
Yeah, objection, Your Honor.
Right. Now, like, I'm glad they got to see it, but as far as what you're saying, like, why did they get to see it? Mm-hmm. The only thing I can think of is it was tied to proving that she didn't want to be there and she was being sex trafficked.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm thinking there was some sort of, like, you know, connection there that they could say, okay, we're going to connect these dots, and we can use that video to connect the dots. But the prosecution blew.
Obviously, it didn't. Usually, like a jury, you got a video of this guy just beating the crap out of a woman and then dragging her back to the hotel room. Usually, the jury is like, yeah, he's whatever, just guilty. This guy's an ass. This guy's a psycho. I don't understand anything about this trial.
That's why you couldn't be on a jury. You would.
Oh, I do what I want.
Yeah.
The jury instructions.
Yeah. You'd get. You'd get tossed.
I mean, I'll do. You know, I'm not going to get caught doing anything about it. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with what I think.
That's not good, though. You know, I mean, it does.
No, I'm going to go with with.
I mean, if they're giving you laid out instructions, going, this is the merit it has to meet. I know.
That's like if a guy shoots the molester of his child, and I'm on the jury. It's like, well, not guilty.
Well, I would do that too.
See, so that's.
But like when the Diddy thing, when you talk about like trafficking, you know, like, okay, was Cassie Ventura complicit, or did she do it against her will? You know, again, I didn't see all the evidence, but man, I'll tell you what, she was complicit in at least some of it. I mean, she may not have wanted to do it all the time, which is messed up on his part, but she certainly didn't have a problem doing it some of the time. So I don't know. I would have a tough time as a juror, I think, with that one.
And was she trafficked, or was she his girlfriend? How can you traffic your girlfriend? Because he made him.
Well, I mean,
because he made her sleep with other guys. Okay.
Yeah, and the trafficking also goes the other way with the guys, him flying
in the Punisher.
So, bring in the Punisher.
Well, he sits in the cuck chair. Then after the Punisher punishes her for a while, he's like, I'm in.
Tag me in, cuzzy. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's a weird one.
Big Kahuna says the Punisher was trafficked. But let's get real.
That Punisher was trafficked in first class, knowing he was a male escort, knowing he was showing up to a hotel room to bang a broad, though.
I think that.
So it's a little, like, technically trafficked, but damn, not really. Like, there's some nuance in that, right? Like,
I mean, if I'm on the jury, see, like I was saying, if I'm on the jury and this guy, they're saying he trafficked this guy, I'm going, what are you talking about? He paid this guy to come screw girls.
Yeah, he just happened to be another state away.
The guy, like you said, first class. The guy wasn't like, no, Diddy, don't make me do it. The guy was like, give me another call, Diddy.
Yeah, he did it multiple times. I got a sneaky suspicion if you were like, hey, Punisher, did you felt like you were being sex trafficked by Diddy? Did you feel in any sort of way that he was doing you wrong in your line of work? I would think the Punisher would be like, well, it's kind of what I do. I was a state away. They reached out to me. Whatever the situation is, he put me up in a 5-star hotel room. I get to bang this chick. Like, it doesn't have all the signs and symptoms of what you would traditionally think of as trafficking.
But I just thought of this. The Punisher did say he was afraid that Diddy would kill him if he stopped doing it. I do remember the Punisher saying that. That might.
A nice wrinkle in the case.
I mean, he did blow up
Kid Cudi?
Kid Cudi's car. I mean, I don't know. I can't figure this thing out. I can't.
This Diddy's a badass cuck is what he is. He is the most badass cuck of all times.
He's an enigma.
What an embarrassment. You know, his family, like, I get that you want to, like, show support for your family member and all this stuff, and I get he probably pays all the bills, et cetera, et
Paying
cetera.
all the bills.
But like, if you're Mama Combs, how you feeling about that? You can't feel. You really enjoying the spotlight at this moment in time, but you know.
The freak offs.
You having a good time watching your son have these tapes out there of unwilling participants? You having fun with that? It's weird.
Yeah, that's mom. That's mom's. Oh, Sean would never do anything like that.
Oh yeah, well let me click play on this here. Now what do you think, Mama Combs?
It's his evil twin.
My baby boy.
Just like what's his name?
Which one?
A remix of Ignition guy.
Oh, R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. It was his twin, wasn't he? The peeing on girls or something.
Yeah, it was just he blamed his twin.
Does he have a twin?
I think he does.
Did his twin get in trouble?
P. Kelly.
Did B. Kelly get in trouble?
I don't think so.
But it worked, didn't it work? I think he got off on that peeing deal.
Well, he's in there now.
Yeah.
If you're R. Kelly, you got to be sitting there going, so wait a second. Let me get this straight. So P. Diddy got off, more or less.
Pretty much.
And R. Kelly's sitting there for a while, which R. Kelly should be sitting there for a while. But I don't know. I don't know about these scales of justice. And if I was R. Kelly's defense team, I'd be like, my bad. You paid us a lot of money. Sorry. We thought we would do better. But R. Kelly did some messed up shit.
You know, once you get off on the underage peeing video, don't you think to yourself,
You got to stop.
I better straighten up? No, he just kept on for years and years.
Even in the Diddy thing today, his defense team, as I think they were like trying to get him out for bond or whatever, they were like, "Hey, we promise he won't call any escorts while he's out. Like as a condition, like we promise he won't."
And you know what? He would.
He totally would.
Fucking would.
He totally would. He can't stay away from this.
They can't
It's in his blood. It's in his DNA.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you know, with all the hype around this trial, it's kind of surprising that none of the, you know, the result is like, why do we even bother? Wasted everybody's time, huh?
It's a lot of time, but I am glad that it made Diddy look like a jackass and a cuck.
It was a humiliation ritual.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I hate to say it, but there's part of me that's okay with it. Like, I hope he's never able to do any of that stuff again, hitting women and puts them in check and making sure that all that's done with. And, you know, look, if something were to happen to him on the streets by one of his
Victims.
yeah, or a nemesis, you go, all right.
Nobody's going to be crying over
He's not
P.
going to,
Diddy.
yeah, he's not going to go out unexposed, right? Like people will go, oh, well, he was a piece of shit in this regard, so I don't feel so terribly that this happened to him. Like if he had gone out as the music mogul and he got, you know, clapped one night, you know, in the streets, people go, oh my God, Diddy, oh, no.
Yeah.
At least now you go,
We won't have to deal with that Diddy mania if he gets capped.
Right.
Or maybe they put him in a cell. They took him to an interrogation room, and the feds came in and went, all right, Diddy, you've been fucking up. And you better.
My bad, dog. My
bad. Yeah, well,
my bad. What can I do?
Yeah, you better straighten up, or you're going away for life.
Yeah.
This is what we can do to you.
Take that.
And they got the tapes. They said, we got the tapes that show it all, Diddy. And he's like,
Puff.
What was he? Puff Daddy, P Diddy. I think wasn't he a
And
couple
he shortened it to Diddy.
Diddy.
Imagine a grown man changing their name to something ridiculous.
Did he legally change it every time? Did P Diddy? Is it legally P Diddy? Trademarked. All right. We got to take a break.
It's a first hour of hanging. I mean, it was sweet. The second hour,
even sweeter.
you think?
Of course. Oh, I forgot to tell you also the second hour tonight show, since it's the 4th of July week, is Chattapalooza.
Oh, Chattapalooza up next. Everybody get involved.
Be right back with more of the Hang.
That's the sound of a wimpy car alarm. You hear them all the time and nobody pays any attention to them, especially not car thieves. But now there's finally a car alarm with some balls. It's the Eddie Vedder car alarm. Yes, the Eddie Vedder car alarm is guaranteed to stop even the most experienced car thief. Hearing is believing. The Eddie Vedder car alarm fills the air with such feelings of angst and self-importance, no criminal on earth could stand it. But if the grunge sound isn't for you, try the good old-fashioned Roger Daltrey car alarm. That's right, who the f*** are you to be messing with my car? Act now and get the 7 Mary 3 personal attack alarm free. That's right, even
Welcome back to another stupendous episode of The Hang.
I mean, what more can you ask for?
I don't think you can ask for much more.
No, you cannot.
Bickety Bang says, hello, old friend. I've got a request. Never mind. For a parody. Also, he says, I've listened to every Hang on Spotify.
Ooh.
Every Hang, says Bickety Bang, and I love it. I got to write down your request, too.
That's awesome.
I got it. Appreciate it, Bickety Bang.
Bickety Bang.
It's very easy to say with contempt.
Goddamn.
Bickety Bang.
You know, nicknames. I go back to when this whole thing that I was going through was happening with the feds and all this shit. And they were like, all right, so here's all the players involved.
The regular Usual Suspects movie.
It's such a shitty mafia thing.
Can you imagine you put those pictures up there?
So you got a guy named Cowhead, and you got a Big Dick, and then you got 25 Cent, then you got Manson, then you got
Hamill.
Spice, then you got a Hamill, and then you got a it was just
sad. It's a sad board.
It was the world's shittiest mafia. Anyways,
I'm sorry. Shut up. Shut up.
Hey, happy belated Bobby Bonilla Day.
What's Bobby Bonilla Day?
Okay.
Do I know that or not?
So
Bobby Bonilla Day.
Every year I get hit with these things on Bobby Bonilla Day, and I think technically it was yesterday. And Bobby Bonilla was an old baseball player.
I know he is,
okay.
Yeah.
And he had signed a contract, and I don't know all the details of it, but he had signed a contract, and they're like, hey, we'll defer payment to you. You'll get X amount up front, but we'll pay you out, every year until the year 2035, X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
And so, people call his agent like the most brilliant move of all time because every year he collects, and this has been going on for
he hasn't played for a long ass time.
A number of years. And every year I think he cashes out like 1.13 or 1.19 million free and clear until 2035.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for a while. And
see, that's so smart. I mean,
it's
like some people could handle it, but a lot of people aren't good with their money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got $1.3 million guaranteed for almost the rest of your life or into your elder years, you're fine. It's guaranteed fine.
And that's not even counting any of the other money he made. You know what I mean? Like, that's just this one deal. And I think he ended up getting dealt, and I think the Mets picked up another play. I can't remember all the details behind it, but Bobby Bonilla Day. Every year I see it, it cracks me up, man. And then I saw these memes.
Is that the day he gets paid?
Yeah. And then I saw memes of like people, like these brothers stepping out of their old Corollas, like in pimp suits, like walking up to collect a check. I don't think he's doing that, but
it's pretty freaking smart.
Yeah, it's thinking ahead.
We were supposed to have
Chattapalooza.
No.
No. Never mind. Oh.
We're supposed to have brand new internet today, but the internet company canceled.
That tracks. I mean, you only have one of two internet companies out here, so it's one of the two.
It's like, it's like that's why I'm switching internet, It's a shitty service, and now you just switch into some other shitty service.
If Starlink,
I know,
was a little less expensive, I would have it. It's just a little too much for the monthly service because you've got to then subscribe to all your whatever subscription channels you have on top of it, and whatever it is, right? It just ends up being a little too much. But as far as like the best option available, Starlink seems like the best.
I mean, the guy was broadcasting live from the Pacific Ocean. The guy that was crossing in the sailboat. Did you see that?
Yeah.
How you can signal in the middle of the Pacific Ocean?
Starlink. I mean, it's really. I have a couple neighbors that have it. You can see the dish and all that stuff. And again, we would love to get it, but you feel like in life you're beholden and trapped into whatever big conglomerate it is, and you feel like a safety of being in there. It's like if you were to make the switch from like Apple to Google on a phone, that's like a big change. It's like, oh, this is going to upend my entire life. You feel that way in some respects with cable because you only have a couple of companies to choose from, and they've got kind of a grip.
It's a total grip
on it. So it's like, okay, you could go with a third-party company like Starlink, and it's probably going to be great and low latency and all that stuff. But then you got to figure out everything else, and then that seems like a big problem.
There's so many apps that you got to get. It's like, it used to be so simple, and now it's like, well, I need this app to that, and I want to. We got this Prime, and you want to go Hulu. You got a Hulu, and you got Netflix, and it's like, well, how many? I don't want to have to go to 17 different apps to watch everything I want to do. And we get a password with each app and all this. Donna has to do it all.
But I feel your pain.
I feel her pain.
So they canceled, and then what do they say? Are they coming back?
I mean, it was a rigmarole kind of deal. It's like, oh, well, my boss is supposed to do something. And I'm like, what's this? Joe's internet service? I thought it was calling Frontier. And so they'll be back next week. We'll squeeze you in.
Are you going to be one of those people that reach out to them on social media and go, hey, Frontier, your guy never showed up. You guys are the worst ever. And then Frontier hits you back with like, sorry to hear about your experience. Please reach out to us with a direct message to tell us about it. And then it just never goes anywhere.
I would do that if I thought I had clout.
You would?
If I had like 10 million followers and somebody screwed me over, I'd be right on there. Hey, these dicks down at Pizza Hut, you know what they did to me?
They would have to do something really terrible.
It'd have to be really dicky. It'd have to be really dicky.
It would have to be really dicky. But really some people use their social media influence and all that stuff to reach out when it's kind of uncalled for. Like, you do have to chalk up in life's, look, shit happens, right? Like, okay, sometimes shit happens, but then these people will go off on their hand. You didn't. You told me you were going to do this, and you never did this. And, like, people take it a little too far. The access is a little much.
It's like the Yelp deals.
Yes.
It's like, I think South Park did a whole thing where the whole community was Yelping, and they couldn't wait to get home and do their Yelp reviews, and they're all high and mighty, and it's like, man, just go out to eat and don't worry about reviewing the restaurant.
My old neighbor used to be a Yelp influencer. This was a thing. I think it was Yelp. And they would give you a card, and she had one of these cards. It was like a black card or something like that. And you would lay it down, let people know. You're like, yeah, here's my credentials. Like,
for what?
Like, they would, in theory, it was like, oh shit! It would be like the equivalent of like your restaurant's getting ready to be rated for a Michelin star, and you let them know. Yeah, you let them know, like, hey, I'm one of those things. And then over time, it lost its luster because it's like, why the fuck should I treat you any different than anybody else? And the fact is, you shouldn't. You should treat everybody the same. But yeah, the black card Yelpers, it was a thing. She would flash this thing around, dude, and she would go to these restaurants and like let everybody know, like, I'm going to be the one rating you. You better give me good service. And they would. I mean, it would be the free desserts. It would be, is everything okay? Like, they would get sucked into this world of, but again, that was probably a decade ago. I don't know how it goes now.
I can't imagine.
I would imagine it's lost its luster.
Too many people are yelping, or probably maybe old people. I don't know. I ain't yelping. I'm not looking at Yelp. I don't.
Whenever I read reviews of anything, I take it with a
grain of salt. It's the owner. It's the competition. It's the brother-in-law. You don't know. You don't know.
All of it.
Whatever. I don't even worry about it.
Or you had, okay, maybe you did have an employee who was an asshole. Sorry. Does it make my entire company bad? I hope not.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody doesn't need a voice.
No. Well, that's the funny part is, if you look at broadcast radio back in the day when that was like, an extremely powerful outlet to get, complaints out. And we know somebody who did that all the time.
Very powerful.
And now everybody's sort of even in that regard. And before it would be like, well, I got a radio show and I'm not blah, blah. Now it'd be like, well, I've got a radio show. Like, yeah. All right. Well, I'm getting hit with social media influencers complaining to me, and they've got 5 million followers. Like, what do you want? Like, who's taking precedent here now?
Don't. Dave Portnoy's going to ruin your pizza restaurant. Worried about radio guys.
Don't tell me you fall for the fake Portnoy pizza video, did you?
I did fall for it. So it's a fake video?
Yeah, that's not Portnoy in that one.
It's not Portnoy.
Where the guy slaps him?
No, he's like it's like this week, and he got the guy.
He kicked him out.
They kicked him out.
Oh, that's real.
And
okay,
he's spitting out the pizza and giving 0 stars, and it's like chill out, buddy. It's just pizza. Like, you're probably being assholes.
Taking this pizza. Well, the guy came out. He was like, "Look, do you have permission to film here?" He's like, "No." So Portnoy being Portnoy, and this guy caring that, okay, what are you? If you are a restaurant or you are somebody, like, who, like, do you want people, like, not everybody wants to be filmed. Like, people don't understand that. Not everybody wants a fucking phone in their face.
True.
Not everybody wants, you'll see people take pictures in public, and I'll see people do, and I've done this myself. I'll put my head down or turn to the side or something like that. Like, I don't want to be in your thing.
Yeah.
So I almost respect the pizza owner, especially, let's say he did know who Dave Portnoy was. And let's say he did know he's coming to review his pizza restaurant. That takes such sack and courage on that pizza owner's name to go, hey, man, do you have permission to film here? I didn't give you, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to, kind of toss it in the other direction, because what's going to happen? One, Portnoy maybe doesn't like his pizza and gives him a negative review anyways, right?
Yeah.
So that hurts his business. Like, it's a kind of a no-win scenario. I kind of respect the pizza owner.
I would go, if he was locally here, I would go despite Dave Portnoy. I would.
And I like Dave Portnoy. But there is a certain, at what point does that food review and this shit stop where it's like, I don't want you in my restaurant filming my customers. Like, they're just here having a good time.
And he's a loudmouth too. And his crew's probably loud. Right. So they're probably filming and yucking it up, and maybe I just came here to have some pizza, and we got a bunch of assholes out there on the patio making a scene.
Right.
So he's like, hey, can you guys not film?
Yeah. If you're there with your loved ones and you're having a good family meal for whatever it is, and all of a sudden these lights and cameras come in there looking like a goddamn episode of Cheaters, and somebody's rolling up, and you're like, whoa, where did all this madness come from? Like, I just thought I was grabbing I don't know. It's a little dicey. Props to that pizza guy, come to think of it.
He got balls.
Big balls.
He's got big balls.
Big balls. You see Jimmy Swaggart passed away?
Jim, when? Today or recently? Jimmy Swaggart?
A couple days ago.
I have sinned, my Lord.
That was okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
He's old as dirt.
He was 90?
Oh, yeah.
I think. I was like, man, he made it to 90. That's pretty good. You think if there is a heaven or a hell, where's Jimmy Swaggart going?
Oh, come on.
I mean, real talk.
He's going to hell. If there really was.
You can't be.
What
What did he do wrong?
Okay, first.
In the grand scheme.
Okay, he was a preacher who was a huge sinner who was fornicating with women and doing drugs, and he got caught, and then he faked the funk
by apologizing and saying he was a sinner.
Yeah, he's going to hell. I'm a good judge of character, and I know that Jimmy Swaggart is not a good person, and he's going to hell.
All right. If there is a heaven or a hell,
mm-hmm.
Are you going to heaven or hell?
I'm going to hell because the worst sin you can have is to doubt Jesus Christ. That's the unforgivable sin, and I doubt the hell out of him. So I'm going to hell.
All right. Where am I going?
Probably hell. Probably hell. You're a cover your ass kind of guy. I can tell that deep down you're like, this shit, I don't even know if it's real.
So the doubting Jesus thing is sending me straight down?
Straight down, deep down. Burning a lake of feces.
All right.
Right next to Jesus, who according to the Talmud is in a burning lake of jism.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Not me. I didn't say that.
It's just a sperm. It's a sperm bank.
It is written. It's Jesus' sperm bank. There's a line around the fucking block.
Come, adore me.
Imagine if it was Jesus the Love Sponge. Boy, the merch. The merch. Jesus Raw. I wish this was 20 years ago. I'd do that bit.
Okay, so in your life, can you name, like, if you were to say who that you know would truly go to heaven, if you believed that there were a heaven or a hell, is there anybody in your life that you can 100% say with pure intent of saying they'd go to heaven? Because everybody's done something. So where does that?
Well, but if you're a Christian, if
Swaggart did stuff, but he said he had sinned. He apologized.
But you have to truly believe. You can't fake the funk.
So you don't think Swaggart believed?
I don't. No, you don't think. You know he didn't believe.
I don't know that.
Yeah, you do.
How do I know that he didn't
was
believe
a con
in Jesus?
man. He was just a giant con man.
There is plenty of con men that still believe in the concept of Jesus and God.
You can't truly have Jesus in your heart and sin perpetually.
Well, sinning is part of life. I mean, that's part of the journey.
But you can't do bad. Can't be a bad person. In the Bible, it's Jesus says is like, man, you got to follow the path. You just can't be a fucking piece of shit.
So wait, was Swaggart banging whores and stealing money, or what was his deal?
Stealing money, banging whores, doing drugs. And Jesus said no.
Sounds like somebody we know. Now, so never mind. But okay,
there's so many.
I know that's the weird part. So, who would go to heaven in your world?
My old neighbor Dorothea.
Mike, that so tracks. That so tracks to be like the most random individual ever that nobody would ever like.
Have you ever met? Have you ever met? I can't
just like a good.
Have you ever met in your life just like a very, very small amount of people who are just like, really, do they do anything for you? And they never do anything bad, and they're totally honest, and you can just tell you've known her for a long time, and there's like just a good person.
Yeah,
those people are going to heaven if they believe in fake Jesus.
But what if you found out, Dorothea, your old neighbor that you say is going to heaven? What if you found out that
did vintage porn back in the day?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, use that. Let's say she did vintage porn back in the day. Where does that put her on the scale of heaven and hell at that point?
I think you can sin. You can sin, and you can be redeemed if you really believe, and then you turn your life around and you don't do as many sins.
Isn't that what Swaggart did?
No, he's a fake the funk. Come on. You got to have a better example.
What about Jim Baker?
That guy was a sicko. He was a fucking sicko.
What about...
You got to find somebody
who
actually really...
All right, let me throw you one. Deion Sanders.
He's been phony his whole life.
Okay, so he's out. Okay. Hulk Hogan.
No.
I mean,
I would say
we still apparently need proof of life videos from this guy. I don't know what's happening there.
He's in a coma.
Is that the latest?
That's the latest. That's the latest.
You will send me proof of life videos, or else
I'll blow you in. Tony Dungy, if I knew him and knew he was legit, seems like a good person.
What if you found out just like, you're like, oh shit, Tony Dungy did that?
I see. You don't know these people. It's really easy to be a good guy in public and then just be a piece of shit behind the scenes. Some people, because when you find that, you're like shocked at people and you're like, they're actors.
Or what if you get to you see heaven and you're like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, did they loosen up the standards? Like, did they, it's like getting into college. Like, did they lower the SAT minimum? Like, what are we at? Like, what's happening here?
You're like, well, who's that? Who else is inside here? If they let you in, oh shit!
And you walk into Heaven's nightclub and you're going, oh, I see what's going on here. Oh. Or if you went to hell and you go, Dorothea, what are you doing here?
Everybody's in hell.
At that point,
not one person made it. Not one person made it. Not one person really believed.
It's just God hanging out at his own nightclub. He's
hanging
by himself
out in his own VIP at Livestock. Got a bunch of cool people.
So exclusive.
A bunch of cool people trying to get in. We followed all the rules. We're here.
No. Not allowed in. This is my Miller Lite. This is my DJ. This is my private sound system and my tent. If you need me, I'll be in the cock chair.
It's the most bizarre thing ever. There was nobody in that place.
So people probably don't know what we're referring to. Because this is
it's a long time ago too.
Yeah, So the Livestock concert we had, part of the radio station.
It was a fest. It was a festival.
It was a great
camping.
It was great.
2-3 days. It might have been 3 days, but it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think it was.
Yeah, it was madness. I mean, it was
a lot. How many? Like 7,000 to 10,000 people?
I couldn't even tell you. It had to be more than that.
People.
I mean, props to the likes of like a Mike Olivero for taking that project on.
Bitch, right there.
That's a thing, and the booking agents. Anyways, so the cuck was like, I want to have my own backstage nightclub. Right. So now
VIP.
Now. Not to mention that Livestock's a lot of work to begin with. Now there's got to be a whole separate thing. So we, I think Olivero and them booked the space and the tent and all that. I had to book the DJs and the sound system, if I remember correctly, and get the free beer. And all the freebies, and he had VIP passes that he only wanted to hand out to hot women. Now, no offense to anybody who's been to Livestock. This is not a ripe crew, okay?
It's not.
So hot women were few and far between. Much less to find a hot woman who was not able to bring her man. So single hot women at Livestock is really
Slee Stacks is what they call the campground, the Slee Stacks.
Yes.
There was no hot women back there.
So it was like, go hand out these passes. There's like a certain amount of VIP passes to get him backstage, to get him this private exclusive nightclub that was happening on like the Saturday night. And I think I had DJ Paul Santana in there, who was a hell of a sport for doing that.
Yeah.
And some other guys. And literally nobody showed up.
Nobody.
It was like 3 people.
I showed up.
Dudes.
I showed
yeah,
up.
It was
And they wouldn't let me in. It took me like 20 minutes to get in, arguing with the bouncer.
Yeah, I had to have private security too.
Yeah. Well, there was security for sure. And then we got in, and it was me, Don, and I can't remember a couple other people. And we're like, there's nobody in here.
Yeah, like, this is lame.
Nobody. And there's just the DJ and the lights.
Yep.
And you're like, there's nobody here. We stayed for about 10 minutes, and we're like, all right.
It was so ridiculous, so
even the
stupid.
guy, and even the guy who requested the VIP didn't show up to his own VIP.
Welcome to my nightclub, Ego.
Club Ego. Have you been to Club Ego? That's a good one too.
Yeah, man, it was really brutal, and it was awful. I mean, look, I left. I was like, I gotta get out. Why am I here? What's happening here? Like, why? I'm going back out to I'm going to hang with the listeners, dude. Like, I'm taking a golf cart out to the Sleaze Stacks to hang out and have a good time. Like, it was terrible. It was by far the most failed. Well, not the most failed project, but one of the most failed projects.
Anywho, Livestock was pretty. It was pretty. I had a great time. Great time at Livestock.
Those were great.
Great days.
Great days.
When radio was radio, and you could, do things like that.
I remember I had a bright yellow Lexus. At the time, it was an IS350. I loved this car, and I was cruising on my way to Livestock. I didn't know how to get there. This was like before GPS, right? Like, you couldn't like punch it in. I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to some, land out in
Zephyr Hills
and BFE, and I'm going. I don't even know how to get there. So I'm cruising. I got all my bongs packed. I got this giant suitcase in my back seat of just paraphernalia. I mean, it's out in the open. I didn't even like hide it. And I'm just la da 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 da. I'm trying to get there. I get pulled over for speeding by the FHP, and I'm like, oh shit, this is bad.
That's bad.
This is bad. And they're like, hey, where you heading? I'm like, Livestock. Like, and then the conversation went on, and I think I had a 98 Rock shirt on at the time. I had like a station shirt.
Saved you.
Turns out, what happens next? I'm posing. I'm in their car doing a symbol like this.
I remember that picture. I
remember
that picture.
And they we're having a good time, and they never checked my bags, never saw paraphernalia. And I got it out of there. I was like, this is the weirdest, like, this is, what an experience. I'm like, don't ever do that again, Matt. Like,
But it is the best.
That was
the best.
a hell of a time. But then again, if it wasn't for me working at the station or going to Livestock, I would have never been put in that spot to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't have been. Yeah. I wouldn't have found myself rolling around with massive bongs and paraphernalia to begin with.
I'm making excuses.
Totally.
But I don't think you can't blame people for, like, you think, oh, look at these rich people get away with everything, but you do the same thing. I'm not that guy. I'm not a name dropper. I'm not the guy looking for free stuff. But back in the day when we got pulled over because the kids were bow riding in the boat and the FWC was about to give us a $200 ticket, I was like, listen to Bob and the Love Spot.
No, ew. Oh, that's gross. Ew, you did that?
I did.
Ew.
And it got me out of the $200 ticket.
I don't think I ever
I sent him some
did
CDs.
I think it may, if it happened by happenstance. It wasn't like me doing anything like that. I would, because I always found it grimy. Kind of what we were talking about earlier.
It's
with
not
like
grimy
the
way you wormed it into that conversation with the state troopers, is it? Not grimy at all.
No. So I think the way it goes down typically is like, oh, well, what do you? I work at the station. Oh, what do you do at the radio station? I work in the morning show. Oh, well, who's that? And then it's like the questionnaire begins, and it's like a pre-interview. So yes, it's not clean.
Not quite as grimy as mine.
Yeah, not as overt and grimy as yours. Grimy, maybe a little bit,
yeah,
but not the same level. Plus, I was carrying other people's stuff in there too, so I had to.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
but it feels good to get out of it.
Would have been a problem if I was muling out to Livestock.
I don't think they use that. They take that excuse either. I'm just a mule. I'm a paraphernalia mule.
Please don't check that giant bag in my back seat. 4th of July coming up.
You have a dab rig? Okay, good.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Sorry,
I was going to say, was a dab rig in that paraphernalia, or was that before dabs? I bet it was before dabs.
It was just bongs and bowls.
Bongs and bowls. That sounds like a...
But it was a lot of bongs and a lot of residue and a lot of...
yeah, you're done.
It was a lot of stuff. Especially in those times. Like, yeah, if they had if they'd found residue, they'd pull you out of the car and arrest you. You know?
Dickheads. Breon 25, 100 beds. They could be on for...
It's always funny, you watch those old episodes of Cops, and they're like, oh, like literally, if you watch an old episode of Cops where they pull people over and they got those old school ashtray cars.
Yeah.
If they pull you in an 85 Mustang and you got the ashtray open, they shine that flashlight, they go, looks like we got a roach in here. And they would pick that roach up, put it in a bag, put it on top of the hood, and set it there and put on gloves and take pictures and all that shit. And it's like, dude, but they would use that as the gateway to get in and over a roach.
How many people just had their lives really messed up because they got busted with a joint or some paraphernalia, and they got in the system, and then they had to do to pay the fees, and then they violated their probation because they went out and had a few drinks or something. It's like they weren't a bad person, but then that's how they started their life in their early teens, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, because it's hard to get out of that. You can't climb out of that hole.
You can't climb out.
That's a big hole.
No, imagine that hole now.
Nobody's
climbing out of the hole now.
It's insurmountable.
Boy, you're gonna pay your rent nowadays and your court fees and your parole violation shit and all that.
If I was somebody sitting in jail for weed on a fairly minor infraction from back in the day, and you're in there and you're going, all right, so I'm an American citizen. I'm in here. I'm dealing with it.
Yeah.
But you happen to catch the news and you're going, so let me get this straight. So the illegal immigrants, so they're good. They're not locked up. They can get money from our government, and they can. I would just look like the juxtaposition of it all is very strange on some regard.
It's the whole. the illegal immigration thing was so bizarre to me, and then you'd have the people with the signs that say no human being is illegal. Like, yeah, well, the person that comes across the border with no...
It's kind of illegal immigration. It's in the term.
If they're illegal. They're illegal. And then I don't think most people agreed with it at all. There was a time in our history when I really didn't understand things. Everything that was going on. Like now, did you see just recently, like yesterday, Penn, the University of Penn, rescinded everything that Leah Thomas did, the guy who was...
I did not see this, no.
Rescinded everything, apologized, because the Supreme Court said, you can't be doing that. You can't be... The guys can't swim with the girls, so they had to... And it's like, that's just a blur... See, you didn't hear about it. But
I take it back. I did. But
it wasn't a huge story. But it sure was a huge story how it was shoved down our throats for a year.
Yeah, and it's funny. The place I heard about it was Brooke Bennett, who's the Olympic gold medalist, and she had put on her page about that story. That's where I did see it, and she was basically saying, "Look, a woman is a woman, a man's a man," taking that stance, And she goes, "If you want to do that, enter the open category." And I was thinking to myself, open category? Well, I don't know how that exists in swimming and gymnastics and all this stuff. I don't know how that works, right?
I've never seen it.
If it doesn't exist, goddamn good for her for saying, hey, yeah, have an open category. If you think you can beat this one and you can think you can beat this one and you're seeing yourself as a different way and a different gender and open category. I'm kind of I like that. If it doesn't exist in swimming and all that, but you want to compete and not be that gender by birth, etc., yeah, have an open category. See what happens.
Yeah,
see how it goes.
They don't want that.
See how it goes.
They don't want that. Yeah, because they can't compete.
But wouldn't that be the most fair way of doing it? Is just having an open category? Say, hey, look, it doesn't matter what I was born. That makes no difference at all. My ability is my ability. I'm going to show you. I'm going to enter the open category and see what happens. I mean, I think we
for the most part, know what's going to happen. But
it's a good idea.
It's a good idea, but they would come up with the idea, and it would solve the problem before anybody entered into the competition. Because Leah Thomas or Thompson, whatever his name was, he was ranked like 350. He's not going to enter any event with a top male swimmer because he knows he's going to get his ass because he's a mediocre swimmer. The only people that do it are mediocre athletes. The thing that would solve it is a top athlete. It's like, why can't we get Cooper Flagg type guy to play in the girls' college basketball finals, and he would score 180 points, and he would jam, and they would pack every girl on that team 80 times, and they would cry and leave at halftime.
I'll tell you why. Pride.
Well, a normal guy is not going to do that.
Yeah.
Normal guy is not going to do that.
Because of pride, because of some sort of level of like...
decency?
Yeah. You just know it's not right.
Exactly.
You just know that like this doesn't feel good. Like this is not right. You just know it. You just like, it's not what should be happening right now.
What kind of narcissist do you have to be standing on the gold medal stand beating two women? You have to be a total narcissist thinking, I did it. It's like, just fucking sick is what it is. It's mental.
Yeah, and to think that like somewhere deep down in your brain, you're not having second thoughts about like, should I be on this podium right now? Like, and if, like,
you should be, but you don't because you're a fucking sociopath.
And if your parents are like going, "Hey, great job today. I saw the race. It looks like you came in first. Great job, yay,
yay."
Want to go to Chili's?
But think now. The Supreme Court has ruled against the University of Penn. So if you're a female swimmer at Penn that was forced to change in front of a biological man.
Lawsuit.
Aren't you fucking getting paid? Aren't you getting fucking paid, right?
That's it.
Right? I'm gonna look up every...
I'm for the people. Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's a big...
That's an interesting perspective.
And juries, the average person in America, we see what, they don't believe in that stuff. Well, you're going to get paid.
Oh man, I so wish I'd gotten changed in. I wish a girl had changed in front of me when I was in a men's locker room.
Don always points out the fact that you don't see any female athletes transitioning and trying to compete against men.
Wait, say that again.
You don't see female biological women transitioning to men, and then competing in men's sports because they would get decimated.
Yeah, you get dusted.
There's none, which proves the point.
Oh yeah,
proves the point. So the point is so easily proven that we had 4 to 5 years of just madness in America, where average people with common sense are like, what are we fucking talking about?
I don't know, man. I like Brooke's idea. Bring it to the open category. If you feel that kind of way, and you're feeling a certain way, and you think you've got the skills and everything to win and compete, and cool. Here's the open category. I like that.
Well, it's because it solves it immediately.
It
solves it immediately.
Open category.
We're like, well, we had the open category, and not one trans swimmer tried to apply.
But I wanted to enter the women's contest.
No, we have an open category. We can compete.
Oh, I don't really. I'm not in the. Oh, I'm a woman. I'm a woman.
Well, yeah, but we have the open category for you. It just so happens that the number 3 male swimmer is in this race. So you're gonna be beaten by 8 laps.
Whatever's on your license, whatever your born identity is. Anything else? If you want to, it's open.
I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't understand the world anymore. I don't understand the world.
I think Brooke Bennett solved it.
But they're not interested in solve it. I don't think, because the media played a huge part in that. The media back in, can you imagine like
they greenlit that so
Walter
big.
Cronkite or Tom Brokaw talking about men swimming against women in pools? It wouldn't be a thing.
How do you think the ratings would be for the open category? I personally,
it'd be great.
I'd kind of watch.
I'm not going to watch
what's,
this.
What's happening here?
I'm not watching that much swimming, but I'd watch the open category
Of any sport.
of any sport.
Any sport. Give me an open category. It seems like it's going to be a good time. Whatever's going to happen is going to be fun.
It's going to be
It
fantastic.
doesn't matter what sport.
It's like watching a U15 boys team beat the women's national team, which happens in all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know why the women do it. I've seen it in the UK. I've seen the women, Americans. It's like, why are you playing these 15-year-old boys who are beating you 7 to nothing? And when you see 15-year-old boys playing against the best female athletes in the world and making them look stupid, it's like, wow, the difference is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The difference in biology is just astronomical. And then you had people who were saying, there's no biological difference between men and female athletes. And I'm like, what? We're living in fucking Mars or La La Land.
I mean, okay, take it to even something as ridiculous as the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, which is a mere couple days away.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I do watch it.
I don't watch it. I find it disgusting.
It's gross.
Disgusting.
It's completely gross, but it's kind of fun to watch. I mean, it's a nice brain break.
If they wouldn't dip the buns, I think I could watch. I
can't divide.
dipping this soggy bread. I can't do it.
Shoveling
Just
it in
eat
their
a
mouth.
They should make them put ketchup and mustard on it too. That's a hot dog.
I think they have the option. But
Slows you down too much.
yeah, it's just you only got 10 minutes.
Maybe you need to have fast squirting technique.
But they have men's and women's, right? They're not intermingling the two. Even in eating, they have men and women. There's no open
because
if Joey Chestnut were to be like, so I'm officially identifying as a woman, and I'm gonna enter the women's. I wonder what the Nathan's hot dog eating contest would do. It would cause quite the stir.
He would, and he would win.
He would lap him by
He would win.
100 hot dogs.
And you know why? Because men have bigger stomachs than women.
Tell him, Mike. Men got bigger stomachs.
I'm sorry, that makes me some kind of
Misogynist.
something. Makes me some kind of hater. I'm not an ally for sure. Not an ally.
I love the Nathan's hot. I'm thinking about placing a bet on it this week, but
Is it still Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut?
no, Kobayashi's out.
He done? He
he-
blowed out his stomach.
He kind of did. Yeah, there was some sort of. He's got some
Can't
something
be a healthy
wrong with-
lifestyle.
And the thing is, he was a healthy looking dude. Like he was shredded.
Yeah, he
like,
looked
was,
great.
But yeah, something happened. I don't know if he had I don't know if it's arthritis of the jaw. I don't know what happened. Something happened with Kobayashi, but Joey Chestnut is the big deal. And he got banned last year from the competition because he went to
did,
a competitor or something.
Just trying to make money eating hot dogs.
But he's back this year, and he's going to eat a lot of wieners. So
Well,
I'm in.
you can tell me who wins because I ain't watching.
Why won't you watch it?
Because I don't find it interesting at all.
It's 10 minutes. It's having a little fun. It's
And then I gotta watch soaked buns.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't do the Nathans. Easy Rider says he loves The Hang. Of course you do.
Thanks,
It's
Easy
phenomenal.
Rider. Mike, very modest. I did notice you have you put something over here that wasn't here before. What is it? I don't. It's a landline. It's a phone.
Oh, we're working on. Donna's trying to get the phone lines working.
No shit.
Yeah, when we get the new internet, we're gonna have them run a phone line.
Hold on. We're gonna have a phone line. I say we. You're gonna have a phone line.
It took 6 years, but we getting well. Hopefully.
Now wait. When this phone line happens, is it a thing where I'm gonna have to pick it up and be like, "Thanks for calling The Hang"?
I have a Telos here.
Okay, so it'll go through.
Do you know how to hook up a Telos?
Sure.
Donna's been looking on how to hook. We just got a cord in the mail today, so I think we're good.
Dude, we're going to be able to take a call?
Yeah, we can take a call. Match a thief! Click. That's all it's going to be. But we
Thanks
encourage
for calling.
We encourage those calls.
Oh, yeah.
We can't take the heat. Please.
It's not real. Click.
Oh, my God. Cancel everything. Ned's not real.
Remember those that used to come in? We'd have to dump them.
We did it. I mean,
we dumped numerous.
We pulled it off for a long ass time.
Long ass time.
Long ass time.
We'd have to dump all the Ned's fake calls. Hit the dump button. Wait for it to rebuild. God forbid somebody got us twice in a row.
Yeah.
And dump it again.
People wanted. I guess they just wanted to believe.
Very Santa-esque.
Wow. Well,
Look at that.
That's all we got. That's all we got. No, we got more. We got more.
We have OT.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
ClusterFshow.com.
Cluster. You've seen Lizzo?
She's
She lost a lot of weight.
She looks
man.
good, dude.
It's like good for her. I mean, you know, she seemed like a real pain in the ass.
Is she doing the Ozempic thing?
She says she's not. And she said she switched to the carnivore diet, and she said it was the carbs that were killing her. And here's Lizzo. And the thing that kind of goads you is like she was like flaunting how fat is beautiful. And now the truth comes out. It's like now she actually feels better because she lost 180 pounds.
Big is beautiful when you're big.
When you're big.
When you're not big, you realize it ain't so beautiful.
So she's still a little thick, but you know, comparatively good.
That's just some loose skin, cuzzy.
Good for her. Good for her. I see her working out. Good for her.
I do my thing. I do my.
I wonder if she's gonna have the same voice. Do you think? Like, you know, sometimes fat people, they seem like they can belt it out more.
Yeah. Okay, the only one I can equate that to in the moment would be Adele. And she does still sound splendid.
Yeah, so she could lose another 50 pounds and still sound like a fat black woman.
Good night, folks.
She's got that fat black woman voice.
Is that her song, or is she lip syncing to somebody else's song?
She's lip syncing her own song.
Oh, that's nice of her.
Wait, what you call me?
Oof.
TSP, motherfucker, big three. Nigga, it's just big me, nigga.
She's at Multi-Planetary Fitness.
And your best work is a light pack, nigga. Prince outlived Mike Jack, nigga. Boom.
Well, you know. Good for her.
She's got some saggies, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it looks like under that dress. That's a lot of loose skin. That's a lot. I mean, I wonder if she's had any surgery. You get a lot of. That's a lot of loose skin.
That's a lot of action
when you're as big as her.
Yeah. Did she get surgeries, you think?
I bet she did.
I can't tell by the back of her arms to see if she's got some.
Yeah, I mean, her arms should be
some meat. She would have some meat back to some.
She'd
flappers.
have a lot of meat. Well,
she does look good. I mean, not there.
And she can play the flute.
You're cool. That just popped out.
Such a good tagline. You're cool.
You're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. The worst period of my radio life. I was sitting with a brother and sister arguing with each other, and a brother who set up his sister just so he could come in and humiliate her every day on the air. And it's like, oh my God. Then I get to go in the cafeteria and have him do, she's such a stupid bitch. And then he leaves and Tara comes in and he goes, he's such an asshole. And I wanted to blow my brains out.
The disconnect is she's like, you're cool. And he's like, I know. Like there's no awareness. I know.
You're cool, freak. She was saying it ironically. Freak.
I got a kick out of my joke last week. A fweet off. I don't know. I thought that was fun.
Fweet off. I don't remember.
It's in the past. It's all the way from a week ago.
Oh.
All right. So ClusterFshow.com. VIP. We're doing an hour.
Doing an hour.
At least.
We may go all night.
Might.
Oh, it's 4th of July weekend. We're celebrating America. USA.
Are you doing the fireworks thing?
No. I got horses. Can't do them.
Oh, yeah.
Can't do them. Used to do them. Such a mess too. God.
Oh, the cleanup.
Cleanup is the worst.
And then sometimes
Everywhere, it's just everywhere.
I went the last time I did the worst of them all. Remember those little coal snakes that you light up? This little tiny coal,
Yeah,
the
charcoal
thing with
snake.
charcoal
kinda deal.
snake.
Yeah.
You cannot get that goddamn charcoal off your pavers or your driveway. That thing will just stay there. I pressure washed it. I've done everything. That little mark from a charcoal snake will
Eating into it.
It'll just stay there. And you're like, all that over a charcoal snake. I'm not
Those
doing
are
it ever
shitty.
again.
Those charcoal snakes are shitty.
They're so shitty, but they're they're kind of cool. You know,
One,
I don't
like,
know how it happens. I don't know the
get it.
science
Yeah.
behind it.
But they're that's the
I watched it in fascination. I
the
think
bottom of the barrel is smoke bombs, sparklers, and charcoal snakes.
when you walk into the fireworks tent, they're like, "Hey, can I help you find something? I'm looking for some of those sparklers, some snakes, and what are the snappers?
Snapping pops.
Snapping pops.
Yeah.
Where's your least expensive buy one get 3 free section, sir?
We haven't done it for years because of the horses. I can't even imagine, because I remember back in the day, you go in there and you know, some of that shit is just ridiculously priced, and I bet nowadays it's even more preposterous.
Yes.
I can't even.
Well, and then back in the day, there used to be people that would go to like across state lines because in Florida,
yeah.
there was just certain stuff that's illegal. I don't know where that stands now. I imagine it's probably the same way.
Well, yeah.
But they would go to Georgia, get a haul, and bring it back across state lines, and then you'd see these fireworks shows, and you're like, okay, that's in somebody's backyard, and that should not be here. That's much
Yeah.
larger than your average display, which was awesome.
I mean, back in the day, you couldn't sell anything other than sparklers in Florida.
Really?
Yeah, and we'd go camping. My dad would take us camping over the summer up like in the Carolinas, and they were legal, so we always bought a shitload of fireworks up there. We brought them back to Tampa because you couldn't. Yeah, there was nothing. You couldn't. It was piddly. You had nothing. Then Then they got the crow loophole where I'm using it to scare the crows off my crops.
That's what happened?
And you got to sign the thing. If you haven't been fireworks shopping,
It's been a very long
and
time.
you got to sign a form when you buy them that says you're using them to scare away birds from your crops.
To this day.
Yes.
That's the loophole, is the
Yeah.
crow law?
Yeah.
When you said crow law, I was thinking Jim Crow? Like what?
It's actually birds. And you're using it to scare birds from your crops.
Well, you sure as shit are. Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay.
Yeah. If you got animals, you just,
I mean, what are we doing here? Can we eliminate these ridiculous fireworks laws then? Because, what's the point?
Of what? Prohibiting them?
Yeah.
I guess
If you can do them,
the only thing would be to prevent deaths. That'd be
but I
the
mean,
only
like,
reason.
you can do it in Georgia.
Yeah.
But the second you bring it across the state line, all of a sudden, like, no, don't light that off. You can't have that here. Why? Like, what are we doing? It seems kind of a pointless venture.
That's America right there. A pointless venture.
America.
A pointless venture. I think it's been about 2 hours.
Yes, it has.
Lord have mercy.
All right, so maybe give us a download or a comment on Spotify or something like that. And
Yeah, we appreciate it.
know.
I've been getting some comments, so I appreciate the comments. I appreciate, be like you're a plumber and some guy sends you an email and says, "Hey man, it's a kick-ass plumbing job," and you're like, "Huh, thanks."
Makes you feel good.
I'm a simple man. All right, we're going to head over to the OT, which is available only on clusterfshow.com. Damn, I should have been pimping Ned in your head the whole freaking show.
When does that happen?
Tomorrow morning, 7:45.
A special edition.
Special edition of Ned in your head. Oh, I don't want to get ready for that after the hang.
just go Nedless. Do the Ned in your head, but just no costume.
Just Nedless? I don't know. I don't know if people like that.
Oh, that's
I
true.
don't think people like it.
Dress up like something else.
I did have you ever seen when it was doing the...
Could you do a week of like a macho in your head, just Macho Man?
Like a week of what?
Just
Cluster F and me as
no, just like a special edition of just you as Macho Man, but stay in character and do parody songs as
for a week?
No, just one day.
Oh, one day. Oh, sounds exhausting.
It does
sounds
never
exhausting.
mind.
It sounds exhausting.
Forget it.
I forgot what I was going to say. We got clusterfshow.com. We got Ned in your head tomorrow morning, 7:45. We got the OT coming up. So tune in to Ned in Your Head tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning in to The Hang. Thanks for coming by, Matthew.
Michael, always a pleasure.
Certainly appreciate it. And we will see you guys later. I'll wait an extra couple seconds to press the button because people say that I always cut myself off, but I think it's a delay or something. So we'll be seeing you on the OT. Thanks for tuning in.
See you.